losing focus on this event. It's now. This is the Ironman 70.3 World Championships. And I'm on the start line. Crazy. Here we go.
"17 years ago, I stood on the podium at the Olympic Games for modern pentathlon, a dream realised. Since then, sport has taken me all over the world. Different races, different challenges, each one teaching me something new about strength, persistence and purpose. But this one feels different, because now I'm not just an athlete, I'm a mother. Magnus is 19 months old. He's curious, a little wild, and full of life. And between nap times, meal times, and outdoor adventures, I've been finding time and motivation to train again. This time, I'm racing as an amateur at the Ironman 70.3 World Championships. It might not be the biggest stage I've ever been on, but it might just be the most meaningful. Because this race isn't about medals anymore, it's about proving to myself and to Magnus that who we are doesn't disappear when life changes, it just evolves.
1 year ago, in a very unfit state, I decided I wanted to see if I could qualify for the Ironman 70.3 World Championships. It was a huge goal. The fact that I had a 6-month-old baby, I had just broken my collarbone, and my fitness was at absolute rock bottom. In fact, I was probably the most unfit I have ever been in my entire adult life. And the odds weren't exactly stacked in my favour, because the qualification period for the world's biggest half Ironman race was due to close at the end of June the following year.
Having not raced a triathlon for many years, there was a lot of refreshing required and a mammoth amount of fitness to find. That said, I soon realised I need a different approach to any previous goals. Balancing having a baby at home and working full-time required some strategic planning. Quality over quantity was the new theme. I found myself prioritising family time and health. Training was a bonus when I could get it done. Well, having gained a bit of a running base over the winter, my triathlon season started with a bang. It was a scorching trip to Abu Dhabi for a middle distance event. The aim was to survive, and I did. Just. This was followed by a last-minute trip out to Taiwan, and Olympic distance was enough of a challenge in that humidity. I then threw in an ultra trail race, which maybe didn't help with my triathlon training. It did also mean I had to find a race as late as possible in order to give myself the best shot of qualifying. I settled on Ironman 70.3 Elsinore in Denmark. It really was the only opportunity to get my World Championship slot. On this occasion, with a less than ideal build-up, I surprised myself with not only my fastest time ever, but I finished third in my age group, which on that occasion was enough to get me that all-important qualification slot.
So here we are, 4 months later, packing for the biggest race of my year. And we should probably start with the largest and most significant piece of kit, my Canyon Speedmax CF. And if you've been following the channel, you will have seen it a few times. I mean, we have done several videos, including visit to the wind tunnel. I've had bike position fit, and I've also done a video with Ollie on all of the optimization. And since that, I have actually implemented some of those suggestions that, well, most of them, in fact. You might not have yet seen the new aero bars from Profile Design, which I've put on the front. I've also managed to put on, well, mechanic might have helped me, put on the chain that Ollie has very kindly waxed with the Silka Secret chain blend. All of these marginal gains, I've told, they are going to add up. And then the swim is looking like it's definitely a wetsuit swim for the age group. It's probably for the pros as well, to be honest. So I am packing my Roka Maverick X3, and I am treating myself to a new pair of goggles for race day. I don't usually do that because I don't like taking new ones out of the packet. I like to save them until the old ones are really past it, but I want to optimize everything, so I'm packing a spare pair of the Roka R1s as well. One more very interesting but actually exciting part that I need to reveal in here. This is the Cloud Boom Strike LS. Yes, On have very kindly sent me a pair of these super fast shoes, and I'm going to wear them on race day. Even if I'm not fast, I'm going to look fast, aren't I? Okay, that's the major essentials, which I probably can't get when I'm out there. I will be topping up on my nutrition. I've got a few of the basics from Precision Fuel and Hydration, but I'm going to go and pop by and stock up to save on my luggage limit on the way out. How are we here? It does feel like my whole year has been based around the World Champs. I've been desperate for it to be here, but I also have just enjoyed the process. That I kind of want the process to carry on, and I feel really mixed about that. Of like, this is what it's all about. Tomorrow is what it's for. And I don't know if I'm ready, like mentally. I'm as physically ready as I'm going to be. I mean, I'm not making any sort of pretenses here that I am not on world record-breaking form, but I didn't really intend to be. I've had a consistent block of training as much as my life lends itself to consistency with all the travel and other things in life. And I feel like I've got that balance about right. I've done around 10 hours a week, and I followed my plan on Human Go as best I can. In fact, actually, I did just have a quick look before doing this piece. I've been 75% compliant, but apparently I'm 100% ready, or 100% plus. So I'm going to just sort of buy into that when I'm having all these doubts in my mind that I am ready. Now, I'm aware that many of you have been following my journey and the channel for several years now. For those of you who are newer to this, let me explain a little bit about this epic event. Ironman hosted the first 70.3 World Champs back in 2006 in the USA, and then from 2013 they have moved around the world, and this year they landed in Marbella in the south of Spain. One of the unique and appealing features of this event is a whole weekend affair with the women racing on Saturday and the men on Sunday. Marbella has hosted a 70.3 over the last few years, but there are tweaks to the course for the World Champs. The swim consists of a point-to-point sea swim of 1.9 kilometres in the Mediterranean Sea, starting with a beach start on Playa Rio Verde and ending further down the coast at a transition where the bikes are racked. Then the big challenge, the 90k or 56-mile bike ride with an impressive 1,785 metres of elevation heading up through the village of Ogen and past Monda and Coin. This is the hilliest course yet for the 70.3 Worlds, and it presents quite the challenge for choosing your bike and your bike setup. Finally, the 21-kilometre run course, which in contrast is flat, just 84 metres of elevation. It's 2 laps, including the Marbella promenade and the iconic jetty, finishing right next to the ocean on the beach. Let's start with the swim. I was very lucky to be in the oldies age group, and my age group happened to be the first wave, which filled me with sort of a bit of relief that there's going to be less people in the way. And the fact of having a women's only race just somehow feels a little less stressful. Like, they set us off every 12 seconds, so it was quite spread out. And the first bit of the swim felt fine. I actually feel like I put myself in about the right position. I think I went about 5th wave out. And I was kind of passing a few people, and I wasn't really getting in anyone's way. And I thought, this is good. I've actually worked on my swimming, and I feel confident on my swim after sort of my disaster swim earlier in the year in Elsinore. And thought, yeah, just keep concentrating, because I am very guilty of switching off and getting a bit lazy in the swim. And it was like about 300 metres before each turn, so you sort of knew roughly how far. And it wasn't until we got to the stretch at the back, which is 500 metres, when we're heading back towards the finish, that, and you probably couldn't see this on camera at all, it was really quite wavy, so much so that you had to make sure you sighted on top of a wave, otherwise you wouldn't even see the buoy in front of you. And I think I wasn't expecting that, and it was really hard work, and I just felt my arms getting tired. I was like, I have not trained for this. And I've looked back at my splits, and my first 2 500 metres were like a really good pace that I'd be really happy with. And then I don't know what happened, whether there was a current as well as the waves, or it was just me being in the wrong place. But suddenly people started swimming past me, and I kind of felt like, oh, I knew that I wasn't swimming as well. However, it wasn't until I came out of the finish of the swim that I had a glance at my time and realised that it was really not a very good swim at all. And I was trying to get that out of my head, because in triathlon, there's nothing you can do about the phase that's just happened. And it wasn't until long after the race chatting with various people that everyone was saying, oh, Lucy's time was slower than normal. And every age group I spoke to was like, oh no, my time was like a minute slower. And it still wasn't a good swim for me, but that has made me feel a lot better. And it's funny, isn't it, how we put so much on a time of our expectations. And I guess with swimming, it's hard to measure it on much else. Out onto the bike, and this is where my big fear was, as you know. And I hadn't realised actually how long a flat we had as a roll-in before the hill, and I quite enjoyed that because I actually got on my aero bars and I was like, this is what, you know, we've done so much work on this in the last few months. I felt like, yeah, maybe I'm on the right bike here, this is cool. And then we hit the climb, which I thought was the first climb, but I hadn't practiced that bit, realised that, oh, we got another descent, so it wasn't the actual climb. And then we hit the actual climb. And I was really grateful that I'd actually done a little recce. I only did that short section 2 days ago, but it just helped me knowing what to expect and knowing that I've got enough gears. I'm still going up that same hill. I still want to cry. Oh, I hope I feel better about all of this in 2 days' time. It's probably not helped by the fact that we just got here last night, been filming all day, and the sun's going down soon, so it's the last chance we had. So I've got to get on the bike. And there's things that I need to tweak when I get back. But I still can never quite prepare myself or get my head around how many women pass me. I mean, somehow like in a big race, you just think, oh, maybe they're a different age group or it's men. But like I knew all these women were in my age group, and not that I'm competing in that sense. Like I didn't come here to try and win my age group. You know, I'm not that deluded, but it still just, it affects me. Every person that came past almost felt like it took a little bit of my self-confidence away from me of just like, am I really this bad on the bike? And there was like a few and I was like, oh, that's understandable. And then it just kept coming. And I was just getting more and more into my head of like, oh my God, I'm so rubbish. But then I'm very grateful for power numbers because my power was okay. It was high for me. And looking back on my numbers, I think my 60-minute power was a PB and definitely my 20 minutes was a big PB power because I was just riding uphill. I had no choice in the matter. And I worked hard. I was keeping an eye on my heart rate. Try not to look at the speed because I think I was about 11 kilometers an hour most of the time I looked at my speed. I was like, aero gains do not matter at this pace. And one thing that pulled me out of my little funk every now and then was when women were coming past me and they were like, oh, Heather, GTN, so amazing to see you. And it was really kind of, I found it quite ironic because they're like, I love all your content, watch everything you do, got so many tips. And I'm like, cool, maybe I need some of those tips because I was like, you are doing just fine right now as they flew past. And I loved that people did say hi and did like chat with me because it was real, like, just reminding me of why I'm here and what I'm doing. And it's really cool to be doing it. But also part of me felt like I should be doing a better job because I should be showing these women how to do it. So I finished feeling a lot more positive and I was well under 3:30. I think I was around 3 hours 20-ish, which is my slowest ever bike, but I think it's understandable because there was so much climbing. Onto the run. Oh my goodness. The support on the run was phenomenal. There was a guy who deserves a mention. He had Heather on the side. And it wasn't just any Heather because it did say GTN. And I wanted to capture it to thank him. And that was very cool. It made my day. I get goosebumps now of like reliving it all. And that made such a difference. Just the amount of just people supporting generally, but like noticing me and GTN and giving it a chill. I was like, I'm here to represent all these people that are watching. And I was like, it really gave me a boost. And then I did fine as soon as I went out of the main crowd. It's when you get back in your head again. I think my head is my worst enemy in that sense. And then I had, like, it's hard to explain because I've been saying, oh, I didn't have a good race and blah, blah, blah. But actually, on paper, none of it was a disaster. I just didn't feel really good. And I was so determined to enjoy it. And I was like trying to force to being happy and trying to almost smile outwardly. And it probably helped a bit, but that heavy feeling in my stomach hadn't gone. I hadn't really eaten very much at all or drunk much. And I just felt like I didn't want to. A few sips of water. I'm so full and I really need the loo. I think I'm going to have to stop. But getting a tri-suit off in Portaloo is never fun. I'm just really bloated. And it's like, I feel so heavy and I probably need to take nutrition on. But I felt like there's no room for it. That was not in the plan. Hey, not so quickly to stop. But it was needed. I was getting desperate. And I feel lighter. Let's just leave it at that. But God, I hate my stomach sometimes. It just never seems to behave in races.
And at this point, I was like, look, so many women have passed me again. I started off kind of not, moving through a few places, thinking I've basically got the whole field in front of me after the bike because it felt like every woman in my age group overtook me. Turns out it wasn't quite every woman. When I looked at the results, it wasn't as bad as I felt. This is an opportunity I might not ever get again, and I should just be soaking it up and enjoying it.
$2K to the finish, and I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to, even if I get slowly, I guess I get to enjoy it for longer. I'm going to pull myself up, I'm going to sort myself out and do this. I'm going to do it for you guys. The support we've had, it's been amazing. Yeah, right, see you at the finish.
For the United Kingdom, from GTN, it is Heather qualifying at the Ironman 70.3.
I crossed that finish line, I held my head high and I enjoyed it. It was like almost as though I was winning my own race coming through that finish line. It's like, why not? This is the moment to relish.
Well, I finished. I'm a finisher at 70.3 Worlds. I have this heavy piece of metal to show for it. And I kind of feel like this should be awarded to all of you guys who've given me so much support. I have just loved the last few months of all the comments that I've had and all of the general good vibes. But I think I just want to say thank you to everyone at GTN, everyone who sort of helped make this video, but also to everybody who's just been out there supporting on the course. It was amazing, and that has been the highlight of my day.
Don't ask me what's next, but I need to think of something pretty quickly. I'm going to stop talking. I just want to say thank you to you guys so much. I will thank everybody else I see in person off camera, because there's a lot of them as well, but you guys have made a massive difference this year. You don't think you realise, so thank you. And if you've enjoyed this video, we love your support. I personally do, and the whole team do, so please give us a like, and if you're not yet subscribing, we'd love it if you did so. Thank you for watching.